Look who we have with us next. Man, we gonna keep it going. I'm telling you, we are. Look, I hope you're enjoying this. I'm trying to jump into the comments on YouTube whenever I can, but trying to run all this stuff. I'm afraid I'm gonna hit the wrong button one time or not. But I hope you all are enjoying it. When I am in there, I see some great feedback. Make sure you take this time, go out and share. If you're watching right now, share on your social media one of your favorite moments so far. So what time is it even? It's 12:30. Hey, we're almost halfway through. So share what your favorite moment so far has been, whether it be a moment, a speaker, or a quote. Put their name in it, tag me, use the hashtag reset 2020, whatever it is. Tell the world you're watching because we've this has been mind blowing. It's been awesome. I'm enjoying it, enjoying myself. So I hope you all are enjoying it as well. And so far, this is exactly what what I envisioned and what was given to me when we did this reset 2020. I think that we are giving people so much content, information, and ways that they can find something today that they can benefit from. So you're good. You're good over there. So what we want to do is, yeah, I know you're a perfectionist. Trust me, you're good. All right, so let's bring on, well, she's already on, Dr. Katrina Ferguson. As I introduce her, I didn't do a lot of bios because I wanted to really speak from the heart on people. Um, she and I, it's funny how people in your life, you go through different phases and things. And when we first met, she was a leader in an organization that I had joined, and definitely someone I looked up to. And as we both started transitioning in our careers, and I started getting into publishing, and then I ended up being her mentor in that aspect. And now we're partners in so many different projects that we do. So if you are familiar with the Queen's Legacy book project, Women of Worth book project, and now even the Ultimate Coaching Exchange, which she's going to tell you a little bit about toward the end, as well about that. It's just been some people are always just good to keep in your life because they build you up, right? You always have people who we have so many people in our lives who tear us down, but when you have those who can constantly build you up, constantly make you better, they're good to keep in your life. So I definitely appreciate, and that's who Dr. Ferguson has been to me. So I wanted to share her with y'all. I want to let y'all know what she's all about. And we're gonna talk about resetting your life. She's been known as the Why Lady. When it talks about developing your why. So I want to welcome you. Welcome, Dr. Katrina, to Reset 2020. How are you?
Thank you. I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So let's start with first of all, how you holding up, how things going for you, and we're gonna talk about resetting
Listen,
your life, and just talk to us about what's going on in your world.
listen, things are amazing. For some people, they looked at this pause, I call it a pause.
Me too. Yeah.
They look at this pause and the way that we were doing things as a curse. They don't have anything to do but watch TV, eat bonbons, wear fuzzy slippers. But I tell you, I have been more productive in this season than I have been in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. I have a new baby. My baby girl just had her
Oh,
son,
that's right.
Quincy. So, Jada's teacher, it's kind of amazing how our lives are intertwined to the point where my daughter actually ended up teaching your daughter
Crazy.
in school in drama. And
Right.
so I actually had the opportunity to be with them. And I'm just flat out excited. Last year I was gone. I was on the road around the world 200 plus days of the year. So
Wow.
has this been a change for me? Absolutely. But what it's caused me to learn how to do is to pivot, to reset, and to create a new plan. So I'm excited. When you told me about the event, I was like, there's no way. One, I would miss it just because out of relationship, as you said, we go way back, and you tend to be my muse. I can call you and say, hey, I need help with, and before I get the question out, you already know the answer. And we've done a lot in business together. Our families are connected. So there's no way I would say no, but the ability, like Mark said in the first segment, to impact people and shift their lives as a result of just simply saying, hey, it's really not as bad as it seems. It's
Mm-hmm.
not as horrible as it looks because there's a plan, there's a strategy in every area you can reset and start again. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Great, great, great. Now, I want you to, I'm going to hand the floor over to you because I want to talk about, um, you know, I, I, I give the title Reset Your Life, but, and I know how broad that is, but I want you to do it in your way and just pour into our viewers. about how they can really focus and reset their lives.
Excellent, excellent. Once again, thank you so much. And what's up out there, family? I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I promise you that this time is going to be well spent. Not just my time, but the entire event. So if you missed the early part, you definitely want to get the recordings, share it with your friends because your life will be impacted. I know mine has been, and we're only halfway through the day. Once again, I am Dr. Katrina Ferguson, otherwise known as the Why Lady. And one of my favorite sayings is simply this: if your why is big enough, the how to do a thing will take care of itself. And over the years, we've talked about, how to recognize whether your why is big enough, how to recognize whether you're on purpose, whether you're doing destiny. And so you can imagine when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, it's kind of like, hold on, I thought my why was big enough. And all that this has done is given me the opportunity, given us the opportunity to really pause. Okay, I teach about a pause principle in a lot of the events that I do. Sometimes when things happen, rather than reacting, we need to respond. And that response often just simply needs to be a pause so that you can really assess what's going on around you and then pivot, right? Pause and then pivot. So I talked about, perceiving what the challenge is and innovating, validating that it'll work, looking at the outcomes and, taking that action, pivot, P-I-V-O-T. So when Ryan says, okay, we're going to reset 2020, I was like, you know what? It's the same story. It's the absolute same pattern, reset, R. Let's recognize. We have to recognize what is going on. What is it that we are faced with? And understand that change is going to happen, whether you like it or not. And most people, they don't embrace change. And that's why it becomes such a challenge for you. It's because you don't understand that it's got to happen. Babies love it, right? You got to change their diapers, makes them happy. Well, guess what? Change is designed to do in our lives as human, not just beings, but humans becoming, right? Change is going to cause us to become more of who we were created and destined to be in the very first place. So all change is not bad. So recognize that, realize that shift happens. Matter of fact, we have an event coming up. It's called Shift Happens. I'm sure that Ryan will share that with you, but shift is going to happen. It happens to everybody. It's going to happen to you at any time. You don't get to decide when you want to see shift happening in your life. You see it happening in nature. You've got 4 seasons. It's not always summer. Aren't we glad, right? It's not always winter. So we've got to recognize that it's going to happen, accept the fact that it's going to happen, and now begin to draw on your faith and your belief that even though it's happening, you are totally and completely prepared. What you need is already inside of you. So the fact that the change is happening is not the issue. The thing is, how are you going to respond to it? Are you just going to sit down and wait for a stimulus check? Heck, stimulate your own economy, right? Why are we waiting for the government to stimulate our economy? Matter of fact, I have a website, stimulateyourowneconomy.com. And you can see some of the business ideas and things that have been birthed in this time of resting, right? That's the other R, rest. Because I know for me, I'm more creative when I'm well rested. And a person who's gone 2/3 of the year traveling around the world very rarely gets that place of well rested. And in this well rested space, all of this creativity can flow. So stop fighting. The Bible says don't fight against the pricks, right? Don't keep fighting and battling. Rest. Realize there's a challenge and understand that now it's time to educate yourself. The E is educate yourself on the possibilities. What are some of the things that you've wanted to do, but you haven't either had time to do, hadn't had the resources to do, hadn't stepped out to do? Educate yourself. See, because the first step to solving the problem is recognizing that something's not working. The second step is educating yourself on the problem so that you can find that need and you can fill it. So because I'm not traveling around the world, did that impact my income? Absolutely it did. So what do? Well, educate yourself. What are you doing? What's in the house? The Bible so the prophet told the lady, the mother, what's in your house already? The pot, the oil. Oh, okay, well, let's bring that and let's see what we can do with it. We were able to start a business, me and a couple of my friends, that in 60 days, we started in COVID. It's still happening in COVID. We're still able to create 5 figures of extra money. Not one time, like more money than some people make all year. Why? Because we refused to get caught up in the fact that there's a pandemic and instead get caught up in the reality that we were already prepared, that God knew. He was not surprised that this was going to happen. And if you are a person of faith, then you recognize and realize that he already prepared you for it as well. So now you recognize and realize what's going on. You're educating yourself on the possibilities. Think about this. I read this story about a young man who got in his car and started driving to every little dollar store in every little city in his area and started buying all of the hand sanitizers and Lysol. Then he went on eBay and started selling it. eBay, Amazon, $30, $40 a bottle. Now, I'm not saying that was a nice thing to do, but it is an entrepreneurial kind of thing to do. He still had to feed his family. But everybody got mad because like you're feeding your family on the back of us, but you just mad because you didn't think about it. Whole nother conversation. But the whole idea was he reset. He came up with a new plan. He educated himself on what the market needed, and then he brought it to market. Now, eventually, when he got kicked off Amazon and eBay, he gave what was left to charities and to nursing homes. So he did end up doing a better thing, but you get my idea here, okay? Then you've got to create the strategy. Now that you've educated yourself, what is the strategy? S, the strategy. And then the system that supports those strategies, right? So for instance, we have a brick and mortar business that operates during tax season. Well, if everything is shut down, obviously we're not operating in that brick and mortar building. So what do you do now? Well, hopefully you go to virtual. Now you start calling people. Now you start emailing and texting, using DocuSign and all of these technological tools that are out there so that you don't miss a beat. You just simply pivot, reset, make a new plan, create a new strategy. I mean, a lot of us are already doing it. We stopped going to the stores. Why? So that we can shop online and avoid, contacting the contagion, so to speak, right? So we have a new strategy. Understanding clearly. Often, you will have to slow down in your life in order to speed up. This has simply been a forced slowdown. This has simply been your life is moving too quickly and there's so much more for you, but you got to slow down and smell the roses. You got to slow down and pull out that pad and that notebook. You got to slow down and do that fill up hour in the first part of the day. I do that as well. From 5:30 until 7 o'clock is my time. You've got to slow down so that you can speed up because the answers, they're already inside of you. So you've got to have a strategy to redeem the time that it seems like you're wasting, right? When things are busy and things are popping, it seems like meditating quietly is a waste of time. Well, it's only a waste of time if you get up the same way you sat down, right? With the same thinking that you sat down. A lot of the things that happen in meditation are you get the information that you need to go into action and cause things to change. Those questions, those problems you can't seem to find an answer to, be quiet. Just be quiet. Just be still. Rest for a moment and watch and see if those answers don't come to you. So you're recognizing and realizing you've got the education on the matter. You've created a strategy that is supported by systems. Now, E, it's time to execute. Many people imagine, but very few execute, right? You have a good plan. You came up with a good strategy. Now you have to execute it violently. That means against all odds. That's against every voice out there that is saying to you, girl, you know there's a pandemic. You know that people can't go anywhere without a mask. Nobody's leaving their houses. These are all reasons why people, they've lost their jobs. They're not going to spend any money. Says who? Ask Amazon. Do you ask Amazon if anybody is spending any money? Right? We know definitively that people are spending money. Why not have them spend it with you? Create something. Build something and the people will come see it, right? Yep. Do something. Don't just sit there and wait for the other shoe to fall. Let me let you in on a secret. You ready? Come close. Come close to the screen. The government does not care about you. They don't care about you. This $1,200 stimulus check one time 3 months ago should show you definitively that it's not about you. You have to stimulate your own economy. You have to grow your own. And I thank God that when I went into entrepreneurship, when I left corporate America, and all of those people who said, you'll never make any money, you'll never be anything, your life is going to be crap, all of the negative stuff, I use that as fuel instead of taking it for what it was intended to do, which was to stop me. Don't let other people's opinion of you, your ideas, your creativity, what your beliefs are, stop you from being who you were intended and created to be. Why? Your destiny is at risk. Your ability to reset is at risk. So keep it moving. Regardless, I appreciate that. I appreciate that you love me enough to tell me all of the negativity, that you don't want to see me hurt, that you don't want to see me fail. But what I need you to appreciate is that I'm my own person and you haven't seen what I've seen in my fill up hour, in my meditation time. You don't know what I know. You don't have that feeling, that instinct inside that is saying it's going to be okay. Which brings us to the T, which is simply this: trust that instinct, trust that thing inside you, right? As long as you got access to that internal voice that is still speaking inside you. One of my mentors says, there's a voice that uses no words. Listen to it. Listen to it. How many times, if you had just trusted your instinct, would you have saved yourself some time, some money, some energy, some heartache, if you had just trusted that instinct? You might not have access to everything and everyone in terms of what it looks like on your plan, but instinctually, you will be led to that information. You'll be led to that person. You'll be led to that opportunity. That's what resetting is really about. It's about creating a whole new, now I'm not gonna say a new normal, because I do not want, I never wanted normal,
No,
least of all a new
absolutely
one,
not.
right? As an
Absolutely not.
entrepreneur, you don't want normal. You're
Right.
not normal. So why would I want a new normal? I need to be growing and moving and developing and helping and impacting people's lives so that they're doing the same things. If that's not what's happening in my life, I'm out of alignment anyway, and I need a reset. I need to pivot. I need to change some things. So, just to recap, reset your life by recognizing, realizing that you have a problem. That shift happens, and you're not the only person that's experiencing. Educate yourself on the possibilities, on what's available to you based on the knowledge you currently have. You know, most of us don't even have to go out there and do anything grandiose to move ahead. Just act on what you already know.
Mhm.
S, get a strategy, write it with systems, put it on paper, make it plain so that you can run and the people that are connected to you can run with it as well. Then execute that strategy and simply trust your instinct through the process. Because understand, guess what? Even in that process, you're still going to have to pivot. You're still going to have to reset constantly and consistently. The only difference is that we're dealing with a pandemic on the outside. But how many of you already know it's not what's happening outside that matters? It's what's happening inside you that's going to cause change to come. So I'm not even sure where I am on my time, Mr. Greene.
Hey, look, we good on time, and like I said, the times are just suggestions. They're just, I don't even know what time we. I was funny because while you were talking, I was looking at the schedule, like I don't even know what time we're in, where we're supposed to be. But as long as the content is good, that doesn't matter. So, and that's such a powerful presentation that you gave. Such, I wanted, it was something I wanted to, I want to go back. So you were talking about the reset. We're talking about um, going on and really, like I said, not being normal. That's that. I don't know if you heard me earlier. That's my thing. We can't go to be normal, but I want to kind of transition into next steps and how we go forward. And you are launching something. If those who are watching on the live page, you see at the bottom where we talk about the Ultimate Coaching Exchange. So I want to give you a chance to talk about that because some people who are ready to reset, they're ready to pivot, but they're going to need some coaching. They're going to need some help. They're going to need someone to walk them through that. So I want you rather to talk to us about what you're doing with the
Yes.
Ultimate Coaching Exchange, why coaching is important.
So I'm not sure if you're still talking.
Oh wait, are we losing each other? Do you not hear me?
Yes.
All right, can you hear
Yes.
me? Are we there?
Yes.
All right, great, great, great.
Yeah, we can. I can hear you, but you keep you're rapping, like you're scratching.
Oh, okay. I think I know what happened, but all right. So let me just reset. I want you to reset. I want you to explain to us about the Ultimate Coaching Exchange because some people are looking, they're ready to reset, but they're going to need some coaching. They need someone to help them through. So talk to us about what you're doing with the Ultimate Coaching Exchange. Talk to us about how people can get involved with that and what they can expect with that. And I was telling people who are watching live, there's a link at the bottom of the page for those who want to get more information as
Okay.
well.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, the ultimate coaching exchange, where you bring your unlimited potential and then you have the accountability and the support of expert coaches to assist you in the process. And what the UCE or the exchange does is we take what for a lot of people has been very, very expensive. One of my coaches, of course, Les Brown is one of my coaches and friends. Elisa Nichols is a coach and friend. But let me tell you, when I walked in the door, I did not have automatic access to everything that they knew. I had to write some checks, and some of them were rather large checks. So what we realized is that everyone who needs to be impacted, especially during this time and this season, definitely should have access to the information, um, the background of people, and the backgrounds of people that can help them with that. For instance, one of our coaches is a holistic practitioner in the health and fitness. So she has the ability to literally hear a situation and speak to it very quickly and keep it moving. Well, if you had to go get her outside of the UCE model, you would be paying her hourly rate, her office rates, and all those kinds of things. So we've made coaching affordable for all Americans at every level. We have career coaches, we have passionpreneurs, entrepreneurial coaches that will assist. And it's a membership base so that you're not paying by the hour anymore. We have group coaching, group opportunities. There are classes that you can take, and then at the end you'll have one-on-one coaching sessions with the actual teacher from that class, so that you can grow and impact others. And we have right now online, it's called the Ultimate Coaching Exchange.com. You can go there and put your email information in. We're going to be launching it in the fall. I'm starting on July the 10th. Nope, Saturday the 11th. We're going to have a Shift Happens event. We're going to do it for 3 months in a row. And we're going to talk mostly about shift happening and how it's impacting us, and what are some of the things that we can do to minimize that impact or to maximize the increase that comes during a time of shift happening. So you can actually do that, or you can simply text UCE, which is Ultimate Coaching Exchange. Text UCE to 22828. The number is 22828, and we'll be able to connect you with the website as well as the community, which is, oh my God, hundreds and hundreds of members already. Great content, lives being shifted already as a result.
Awesome. Thank you so much. As usual, whenever I do something, you're one of the first people I call, and you were like, "Yep." As a matter of fact, and I gave everybody get some behind the scenes stuff right now. I gave everybody else these nice formal letters and all this stuff. I text Katrina, was like, "July 1st, need you." She's like, "Okay." That was it. So that, so I appreciate you being that friend, that partner that I can call on
Absolutely.
like that. So definitely thank you for your time today, and look forward to working with you and seeing you at the Shift
I have
Happens
one more
and
thing.
with UCE. Oh, go ahead. Yep.
I have one more thing, if
Yep.
that's
Absolutely.
okay.
Go ahead. Yep.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for always being on the cutting edge, for always being in front of what's happening, for always thinking about ways to impact people's lives forever. And you're not selfish with your knowledge. You're not selfish with your intel, and you're blessing people. I mean, it's kind of like you've got the people on the big stages that are impacting people, but the people that are on the smaller stages impacting just as many people don't get the shout out. So I just want to say thank you. You inspire me. I appreciate you, and I love you and Tanika to life.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right.